All right, it's been a long time since I've recorded a video, and I'm here in Vancouver. This is January the 20th of 2024, and I thought I would just record something. It seems like coming out to Vancouver is when I tend to get inspired to start recording again, so this was a good way to hit the reset button. This is now 2 years that I've been into, well, I call this a lot of things. It's a sabbatical, it's semi-retirement, it is a career break, whatever you want to call it. To fill you in on some of that, about 2 years ago, I had the opportunity, we'll say, to take a package from my past employer and start to head out onto the unknown path. And in some ways take a break, in some ways recalibrate and reassess where I want to go next in life. And it was at a point where I had, both of my kids at that point, they had just become adults. So it's not like I was raising young kids anymore and having to feed them. We sold our house a number of years before, and in some ways maybe I was kind of preparing for it. So I kind of had that sense, and the economy was taking a little bit of a turn a number of years ago, so we sold our house. So we didn't have a mortgage to pay. We're paying rent. We rent our own house now. We've still got a couple of rental properties, but we rent our own place. And part of the reason for that is just to basically have some flexibility, that was mainly it. Just have some flexibility, maybe kind of find a little bit of a safe harbor until the economy settled out. Maybe some flawed thinking in that, I don't know, but there was a little bit of a strategy in the back of my mind there. I think in some ways I was probably ready to do something different in life and with my career. So there was a number of things at play there. So to come back to the story here, we're 2 years into it. I've been, in that time, I've kind of been dabbling around with some business ideas, with a little bit of contract work, using some of the skills I have, I should say, and I've kind of been dabbling with that. I've also taken a number of courses, everything from writing, speaking, leadership, land development, some investment courses, some technical analysis courses, things like that. All stuff that kind of has really aligned with a lot of my interests. There's a theme in all of that, which comes down to probably investing, making money, and I think to dig a layer deeper, the reason for that is probably just to build some independence. And I even like to think of the term personal sovereignty even. Might sound cliche to say that, but no, I think that having a sovereign lifestyle is, I think that's probably been a lifelong goal of mine, because I've probably always had more of an independent nature, and my parents would call it stubbornness. If you think back to it, when I was a kid, probably a bit of a stubborn kid, and I'd probably be lying if I said that didn't spill into adulthood too. But I like the idea of independence. I had a career. I had a long time. I've had long-term jobs. I think looking back at my career, 7 years at one place after finishing school for civil engineering and for surveying. 7 years at one place, 15, 16 years in another place. And now I work for the worst employer possible, which is myself. So that's been quite a change. I guess I've always had the thought in the back of my mind that at some point in time, I would be on my own. I'd have my own business, or I'd be otherwise independent, whether it's from investments or things like that. And the thing is, though, is that having a job, especially a job that you like, and a job that pays very well and has all the benefits and all that, it gets very comfortable, very comfortable. And I could start to see myself looking down the road into my, I'm in my mid 40s now, and I look down the road 10 years into my mid 50s and still being very comfortable. And then what? What after that? I just kind of saw, I think in some ways, and maybe there's a lot of flawed thinking on my part. Well, I wouldn't doubt that there is some, for sure. But I looked down the road, even in my career, and I thought that, okay, you look at where artificial intelligence is going. You look at where technology is going. And there is a lot of things changing that is probably going to make my job obsolete. And you look at the inflationary picture, and I was thinking this a couple of years ago or so, and you look at the fact that there is a lot of things going on, a lot of things changing with the international monetary system. And I thought at some point in time, the savings that I was putting away from my job was just going to get eaten away by inflation. It would be to the point where there'd be no benefits, really. There'd be no savings. It was just getting whittled away by inflation. And I've been thinking, like, how does a person get past this? Just working their job and punching the clock in every day for the next 10 years. I just saw, even though I had a really good job and a really good income, I just saw myself falling behind. And I thought that, okay, something has to change. And I've got to do things differently. And I think the only way was to just take a different path, start a business, start investing, and really rethink where I'm going with things and what I'm doing. So that's partly why I'm here in Vancouver, is just for a change of scenery, and to just start networking with some people that are they're investors, find some people that have had some success, and find out a little bit about how they got there, because I've got a lot of lessons to learn and a lot of lessons to relearn. So the older you get, you realize just how little you know, and so it's always good to learn. So that's partly why I came out here. I'm starting to get a little bit of an itch now after having been on this sabbatical for 2 years, and I've got a business that I've started, so that is going to be one avenue of making some money, but it's not going to be the only one. It's not going to be the only thing I'm doing. So I've always been interested in investing and interested in real estate and commodities, and a lot of the principles in investing in real estate and in commodities are some of the same things anyway. There's a lot of overlap. So I think that this is a good way to learn, to network, to meet with some new people, and just see what kind of possibilities come from that. I don't really have any expectations on this trip, more than just some time to just change some scenery, get out of my head a little bit, and see some new surroundings, meet some new people. That's basically what I'm mainly here for, and to see what I can learn. So that is where I'm going to leave it. If you got any questions, let me know. I'm sure there's going to be some more to talk about when it comes to this sabbatical, when it comes to how this whole thing is going to turn out and where this thing leads. And I'm rather excited to see how it goes. So anyway, that is it for now. Take care. Talk to you next time. Bye for now.